Over the past few years, I'm sure quite a few of you guys have heard of something called the Great Replacement Theory, or as it's otherwise known as, white replacement theory, especially since it was highlighted by a bunch of mainstream news segments covering and in the mass shooting in Buffalo, New York, which happened in the past couple of years, specifically targeting black people, by the way. However, for those of you guys who are not aware, basically the white replacement theory is heavily adopted by people that are racist, or as CNN put it, rich white nationalists or groups like neo-Nazis, saying that the government is basically trying to replace the white population with minorities in the US/Europe. I want to do a hot take on this. So what if we were to basically take the race portion of that whole theory and just put it out, and just take it out of there, and instead focus on the immigration issues that are highlighted in it, plus add the whole, swaying of votes in there as well too, that is, a decent concern of quite a few American citizens here in the US. Quite a few people have covered stuff like this. People like Tucker Carlson were labeled a racist for covering it in a way that was not focusing on the white aspect of it, but rather on American people and the replacement of American people. It's pretty obvious if you actually look at his stuff, he's not racist at all. He just cares about American culture and keeping it healthy. But if we were to, focus on the issue of immigration and swaying votes via bringing in immigrants a certain way, is there actually some truth to this whole theory? Before we get more into this though, cue intro. So I'm gonna get this out of the way first. White replacement theory, stupid. Fuck that shit. I think it's stupid. It's not what's going on at all, you feel me? But I don't really think it takes a genius to understand that we have some form of immigration problem here in the US, whether it's, the massive amounts of migrants that have been flooding into the country since the Biden administration came into the office, that get put in cages, by the way, which were made by Obama, right?
Thanks, Obama.
In that massive amount, that includes people that are legally immigrating and people that aren't, and it's largely not. Or the fact of the matter that 200,000 migrant children have gone missing during the whole immigration process since Biden has come into office. We did a video talking about that, and the link will be up here. Or, you want to talk about the whole issue with the border and putting up a giant fence, you feel me? Either way, one way or another, there is an issue. And when it comes to the fence, I'm going to argue that that's more of an issue. We should have more police infrastructure instead of a border that's, 20 feet tall. Now, let's get on to what, our corrupt government/legacy media does not want you guys thinking about. Less concerned, good, moral, free-thinking voters. All right, now let's take a deep breath, inhale and exhale, because we're processing some pretty complex stuff here. Now, let's look at this another way real quick. So we have independent, free-thinking American citizens and a government/big businesses which are, wanting more power and control to do more corrupt things. Don't you think that those free-thinking, Constitution-knowing American citizens would get in the way of these corrupt people from getting even more power? Yes, they would, because they wouldn't knowingly vote for a corrupt person, you feel me? They would be voting for the exact opposite of that. How can we fix that? You guessed it. Bring over migrants who don't speak the native tongue on a large scale, so that way, they'll be more likely to vote for these corrupt career Democrats or just politicians in general whom, you know, are just going to keep them poor. And half the time what happens? They do end up staying poor and in the ghettos. Why exactly? Because of those politicians. Now, I'm okay with open border policy. That doesn't bother me. If we're going to have that, though, we do need to have good police infrastructure, which requires significant proper training, you feel me? So that way police aren't being brutal towards people like we have seen. And that way we don't have as many crime syndicate members or, you know, drug dealers and just cartel members coming into our country, fucking everything up and making our economy and our neighborhoods worse. Now, with the, you know, voter end out of the way here, let's take a look more at the business end. Hey, you guys know what else is really fucked up that the government has been doing? They've actually been secretly deporting people if they don't hit that like button and destroy the shit out of the subscribe button. They really just don't want people in the country that don't do that. All joking aside though, my dudes, it really does mean a lot to me whenever you guys do this. It also helps to, you know, get even more of this content completely raw and uncensored out to you guys, as well as, you know, other people, especially when you guys share it. So that way they understand that it's okay to question these systems that we live in, the shitty corrupt systems, and it's, you know, okay to think independently, because that's a huge part of life, is thinking for yourself, right? With that being said though, my dudes, let's go and hop right back on into the video. Those aforementioned Americans whom have either grew up in or lived in this country for 5 to 10 plus years cost too much money, and they're starting to protest, trying to form a union so that way they, you know, get treated better and get paid more accurately for all the hard, intensive work that they've been doing at, say, Amazon. Oh wait, that did happen. Amazon didn't like that. Now, how would Amazon arguably stop that and, you know, be able to keep their money, if not make even more? Well, it'd be by hiring many easily exploitable migrant workers who barely understand English that will do over-strenuous work for even less pay than those American workers who demand just treatment and compensation. Now think about that with the current immigration issue. Regardless of whether or not these migrants are legal or not, don't many big businesses already do this, especially with, you know, minorities such as Indians, Hispanics, etc.? It's true. And, you know, the US isn't the only one that does it. Our big businesses are not. Many other countries around the world and their big businesses have done it too. Like in Europe, they do it all the time. So that way they can make massive amounts of money off of illegal and legal immigrants. It's really messed up. Now let's take a look at what good old Tucker Carlson said about the Great Replacement theory back in the day when all this stuff was being covered, and he was still, you know, on Fox and being pretty liberal for a Fox news anchor.
That the left and all the little gatekeepers on Twitter become literally hysterical if you use the term replacement, if you suggest that the Democratic Party is trying to replace the current electorate, the voters now casting ballots, with new people, more obedient voters from the third world. But they become hysterical because that's what's happening, actually. Let's just say it, that's true. Let's say that again for emphasis, because it is the secret to the entire immigration debate. Demographic change is the key to the Democratic Party's political ambitions. In other words, you're being replaced and there's nothing you can do about it. So shut up. I mean, they're trying to change the population of the United States, and they hate it when you say that because it's true. Our country's being invaded by the rest of the world. Let me just state unequivocally, the country's being stolen from American citizens as we watch. In political terms, this policy is called the Great Replacement, the replacement of legacy Americans with more obedient people from faraway countries.
Tucker Carlson thought differently than what the mainstream media was saying and looked at it a different way, you know, indiscriminately, as he should as a journalist, and was just, you know, completely slandered and labeled a racist and other things. That seems to be the case for quite a lot of things, especially when you speak the truth or you speak any differently compared to what the system or the legacy media has to say, right? So if we look at it in the way that we discussed earlier, you feel me, in regards to using these migrants, whether legal or not, for both voting and cheap labor, you feel me, which is nothing abnormal in the world, sadly, on the cheap labor end. And what Tucker Carlson said in a couple of points, the great replacement theory kind of holds a little bit of truth, doesn't it? Not with replacing white people, because again, fuck that shit. It does not make sense, and it's not really true. But replacing intelligent and or hardworking American citizens whom know their rights well with these immigrants / migrants whom are easily exploitable and manipulatable, that are also willing to, you know, work for much less and believe that America's in a good place right now and they actually care about the migrants, which if you guys know anything about politics, you feel me, they don't give a shit about me and you or anybody that's below them in, you know, the hierarchy of social classes. They don't give a shit. Now again, fuck the white nationalist great white replacement theory. That's bullshit compared to what we just talked about. All right, again, let's take a deep breath so we can, you know, keep our minds open and relax. What do you guys think about this, my adoring tribe members, new viewers, etc.? Let us know your thoughts and concerns in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear them. Because good old reliable and honest legacy media plus our corrupt governments would, you know, label me as a racist and a loony conspiracy theorist if I had an even larger audience than I already do, especially if I had millions of followers. As usual though, my dudes, if you guys did enjoy, please hit that like button and destroy the shit out of the subscribe button. It's completely free, and you know, that way you guys can get more of content like this about things going on in the world, completely raw and uncensored. Then also, you know, it helps to get this out to even more people, and also helps to gauge for me what you guys are enjoying that I am putting out there for you. However, if you guys did make it to this point in the video, go and leave the word Rebel in the comment section down below to let me know that you made it to the end and that you guys are part of the 1,000,000% trap. Also, if you guys would like a more interactive experience with us, come join us live on streams every Wednesday and Friday from 8:30 to 10:30 p.m. Central Time, where we share more conspiracy facts such as this, dark memes, and play games such as Pokemon Unite, Fortnite, Apex Legends, etc. Whatever really floats the mood, you feel me? And just, you know, vibe out and have a good time together. I'd love to have more people in there because the more the merrier, right? Also, feel free to join our Z Tribe Discord where we do movie / weeb night occasionally, share philosophical and spiritual discussions, and, you know, share dark humor memes, as well as, you know, conspiracy facts, and just, you know, discuss quite a few number of things. Respectfully, of course, you know, only rules are don't be a prick. And, you know, gotta be able to take a joke because we bust each other's asses in there, and it's also full of dark humor. Not really hard to do. Just be a decent human being. With that being said, though, my dudes, please don't forget to live long and prosper. Take care and peace. Keep it 1,000,000% real. And as always, fuck the system. I'll see you guys on the flip side. You.
My people of this country, and we're under attack. They banning us, they cancel us for speaking the facts. If you man enough, come stand with us, take USA back. And every time we pull up, all you're gonna see is America.